Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your favorite 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time 3D printing related stream on YouTube with Glenn and James. One guy in the basement, the other guy upstairs. I think I got it.
That's pretty accurate description.
We put enough stuff in there, it's got to be true eventually, right?
That's what it says on the business cards.
Oh, hello, everybody. I hope that you guys are all doing well. And we, of course, missed you guys last week because of VRF, but that was well worth missing you over. So it has been 2 weeks since we've been here, and yet it feels like just yesterday.
Let's take 3 weeks off next time, see if it makes a difference.
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people in here right now. Are we streaming against somebody again today? These guys never pay attention to the 3D printing streamers schedule. Shame. But so I have a couple of things going on today. I'm going to actually assemble a spool holder, and I'll tell you the full story on that while I'm doing it, because the assembly of that spool holder is going to take me about 30 seconds, hopefully. And then I'm going to put a new electronics box, excuse me, on the Prusa MK. I have to think about what it is now, a 2.5S, because I broke the other one at some point, and I printed one out week before last, but we weren't here last weekend, so I didn't put it on. But I thought that we would also try something like super new and cutting edge and original today. I thought we would lay down a topic. I can hear everybody right now like, yay, awesome. That's a great idea, Glenn. Where did you ever come up with such an amazing idea?
Truth is, I thought of it. Now Glenn's just taking credit.
Well, that's usually the way it goes.
Story of my life.
That's the title of today's stream.
I didn't even see what the title of today's stream is.
I think it's the one where James finally realizes.
That is, absolutely. And we have 20 people watching, which is still double the amount I usually get on my streams.
so everybody should know that the names of these streams, I just randomly pull them out of the air at about 10 o'clock in the morning on Sundays. That's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, if you care. So like, it's not like we talk about it or have a big list of them. That it's just whatever comes to me at the moment is when I do it. So it's always fun to see if it actually works into something in the stream, or if I just have to yell White Castle at the very end. So what are you going to be working on today, James?
So I'm going to try and get some assembly work done on that 2-player arcade cabinet that was supposed to be. It's been 3 weeks since I released a video, I think, like one of the Pi 26 Way stuff. Real life keeps getting in the way, and then Kay and I celebrated our 11-year wedding anniversary yesterday.
Oh yeah! So, congratulations!
Thank you. She's probably not in chat. She was playing Minecraft upstairs. So,
well, it's really more of a congratulations that she's put up with you for this long.
That's what I figured. Hey, I tell her every day, I'm like, I don't know why you're with me, but at this point, I'm going to stop questioning it. The illusion might fall away if I keep questioning it. So
now Kay is here. She's in the chat. So yesterday was officially your anniversary.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember my friend Grant, my friend and coworker. He had been on stream with me a couple of times. Used to rent my apartment from me. He got married yesterday.
He stole my anniversary? That's rude.
He did. Yeah.
He
had asked me, like, what's a good day to get married? And I'm like, you should totally get married on James's wedding anniversary.
I'm not surprised that you would do that to me, to be honest. TBH.
To be fair. Oh, sorry.
To be fair. And then the other thing I have to show off today is, so I finally got around to printing the N64 Pie Case. It took me a long time to find, because like I was going to print it just out of black, but the Nintendo 64 is not black. It's a like a carbon type color. Like it's a very dark gray, and then it's got black feet. So I ended up finding a supplier in Ottawa, of all places, so like just a stone throw away, that actually sells a filament that's like almost the same color. I don't know if it's coming out in the camera, but you can see the foot is black, and then the rest of it's just the right color. So I think it turned out spot on. Other than the fact that FDM just can't really handle the curves on here, so it's very steppy.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about printing the top of it like this with a ton of support material, just to see how much more of the detail comes out of it. Did I miss something? I see.
I'm watching chat. My friend Matt said, "I get that reference." To be fair.
Letterkenny.
Oh yes.
So the only thing is, I haven't even
3D printing live stream the other day.
that was pretty much spot on. I was trying to think of another funny Letterkenny reference to make, but it's just not happening.
There's so many. Have you ever watched the blooper reels?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That has got to be a really hard joke to work on.
Yeah. And Wayne's eyes often will open when he breaks character. That's like the only way you know he's breaking character, is he stops going from this.
Yeah, all of a sudden you can see his eyeballs.
Yep. I haven't even done a test fit to see if the pie will actually fit in this case or not yet. So
it'll be fine. You've done enough of them.
You'd think that, but oh no, it fits perfect. To be fair.
So to be fair, so I want to the topic that I wanted to discuss today.
No, not the one. We decided that wasn't safe for work.
Oh, all right. Well, then the other one that I want to discuss.
No, it was the third one.
Oh, it was the third one?
Yeah.
You're so restrictive. I don't spend a lot of time on the Facebook, but I spend enough time on there to get annoyed. But one of the topics that I see come across in the 3D printing groups all the time, besides my printer's broken, what's wrong with it, with no additional information, is about build surfaces. And it almost seems that like the Facebook groups all print on glass.
I do get that a lot. And I was like, why are you using anything else?
Well, anytime anybody asks, like, what surface should I print on? Everybody's like, oh, go get a piece of mirror or go get glass. And then to go even deeper than that, there is sometimes not fights, but
Mortal Kombat
discussions about mirror over glass. Like, oh, you got to use glass. No, you have to use mirror. Now, technically, mirror is supposed to be a little bit more flat than glass because they don't want it to distort the image. But glass being fluid is going to be flat regardless.
If you let it sit long enough, it'll definitely be flat.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of printing on glass. So I kind of wanted to know what everyone's... and it's already been mentioned in the chat. Hairspray. That drives me crazy.
Like, because it gives you like flashbacks
to the 80s, man. Totally to the 80s.
To when you needed it.
Oh yeah, totally Aquanet all the way. Super hold. Yeah. No, but I'm not spraying anything aerosol near my printer. Mainly not when it's sticky crap. That's the other topic that you see a lot too is how do you clean the hairspray off your bed? And I'm thinking, don't put it on there in the first place.
So you and I are gonna fight over it, I guess, because I often use hairspray if I'm printing straight onto glass.
You shouldn't have to.
You would think that. And I'm going to be honest. The first time I tried glass, because I was like, glass is the bee's knees. Use it. The first time I printed onto glass, like I made it perfectly clean, follow the directions. Print stuck perfect. Didn't touch the glass at all. Cooled down, took the print off. Thumbs up. Started the next print. Came back downstairs to a blob of plastic on my hot end that killed my thermistor and my heated cartridge. And I was like, nah, bro, you don't play me like that. I'm done.
Because you didn't clean it.
I didn't extra clean it the I didn't go the extra mile the second time.
Yeah, you have to make sure that it is super, super clean and that your nozzle is the proper distance from the glass. And you will not need hairspray. I used to print on glass on my A8. I never put hairspray on it. But in fairness, when I wanted to just print quickly and I didn't want to have to worry about cleaning the glass, I would just put blue tape on it.
I've fallen back to blue tape from time to time for sure.
I don't like the shiny that glass gives the print. In fact, one of my pie cases, I think, is one of the last things I have sitting around here that was printed, flat on glass, and I hate that.
It's got that, like that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm all about the texture from the PEI from.
I love it. However, I can't get PLA to play nice with it. So, because I would use that nonstop because I used PETG to do the Atari lid, which gives it the finish.
You Photoshop that anyway.
It's true. I'm photoshopping this right now. That's why I have to hold relatively still. But if you look at the surface on that, that looks very much like the surface on old ABS injected plastic.
Right.
So I printed it like that on purpose so that I could get that texture so it would look more photoshopped. I want to take a second to show. So one of the things I designed into this N64 case. So the N64 has a vent right here, right? On the original N64, that's where there is a grill vent on it.
Right.
So I modeled that in, and then I actually modeled it so the fan has a little bit of a space, but it sits right over the vent and sucks air in through it.
Nice.
So I didn't have to put in like extra holes to have the fan work.
Nice.
So, and then I had done the poll to find out how important it was to have access to the micro SD card, and people said yes. So there's a hole in the bottom, so you can have access to the micro SD card.
But it's in the bottom. Nobody's going to see it. So. But so I'm kind of curious to know what everybody's preference is on bed material. Print surface.
I think right now I'm tied for reliability between the PEI sheet that came installed on the smooth Prusa flex sheet and the Ultra Base that I have on one of my CR10s.
Now, I bought an Ultra Base for the A8, and I've never used it. It's still brand new in the box.
Do you remember at IRF I had the maker coins that I printed that looked like the Ninja Turtles, and there was orange, red, blue, and purple. Right. I printed all and so I used that process where I had separate sliced files for each color, right? So I would print the purple parts onto the bed, then I would switch filaments, and then I would print the green parts on, I'd print the color of the band, then the black, the white for the eyes, and then print the green around it, and then it would finish the coin. Right. So each coin was 5 colors. I did that on the Ultra Base, and the Ultra Base held the individual pieces of plastic without getting knocked off. So at that point I was like, yeah, it was, and then so I was impatient, so I'd have to cool it down. So I'd come downstairs with a can of compressed air, and I'd flip it upside down and spray cold air onto it, and it would send all the coins flying because it would detach them immediately. So I had to wait like 30 seconds in between print loads. I'm still finding coins because occasionally I'd push the pressure a little too hard, and it would send 2 or 3 of them under my desk.
That's pretty funny.
Laura says hairspray is a thing of the past, like blue tape. Like blue tape.
Yeah, but the thing is people are still using it.
Absolutely.
Like a lot. And again, I always lean back on the Facebook groups because people in the 3D printing community on Twitter are normal.
Hundo P.
The people that hang out in the Facebook groups, 3D printing Facebook groups, like abuse. That's all there is to it. People are just genuinely rude to each other, and it drives me crazy. So, but
most of them deserve it, though.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Prusa textured sheet. I thought that I had a smooth sheet from Prusa, and apparently I do not. I have more than one. I have more than one textured sheet, but I never had the hair
Never
tape.
got the smooth one.
Hair tape's a thing for people who don't have natural hair. That's how I hold this part on. Matt, Jake from State Farm said, "I'm not allowed on Twitter anymore." What were you doing, Matt? So I've now built my my spool holder. I'm sure that you guys have seen this design before with the skate bearings in it.
That's not Chris Riley's favorite design.
Probably not. The reason that I built this one was because I had these skate bearings laying around from the monthly Maker Geeks Geek box. This was the project in July of 2017. And I just built it now.
Hey, you were successful though.
Yes, but go ahead, say, well, why? Why did you need to build that?
Well,
All
why?
of your printers have spool holders on them.
What you just said. Why? Why did you do that, Glenn? Why would you do such a thing?
Because when you use spools this big...
Oh, I feel like there's a joke in here that we're not allowed to make.
I can get it lined up. When you use spools this big from IC3D...
I designed a 3D printable spool holder for that roll in particular.
Was it for this one? I thought it was for the big one.
I designed one for each of them, but there is a fully printable one. The one for the 10 kilogram requires a smooth rod, like an 8mm smooth rod that'll fit through. Gotcha.
Yeah. So when you've graduated from printing benchies and you're going to start printing benchies, you need bigger rolls of filament. But so that's for the FK1 to be able to print. I have, let's see, I guess I can spin this camera around. I have a shelf. Oh, which brings up another topic. And we'll get back. We're not done talking about print surfaces yet.
Yeah, you're not done till I say you're done.
So I have a shelf, shelf that you can barely see because of the light, that's full of maker boxes there. That's part of the desk that the FK1 sits on. So the spool is going to go up on that shelf. And then I have some Bowden tube.
Oh, so you're going to use the Bowden tube to guide it to the direct drive on the...
Some Bowden tube. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a holder for the Bowden tube for the front of that shelf, and then run it down to the extruder on the FK1 so that it has a path. And then that should take care of that.
Every time I move this thing, I lose a piece. So at this point, I've lost 1 foot and 1 controller port, and they're different colors. So if I have to reprint them, I'm gonna have to change colors of filament to print a piece this big, and a piece that I'm not gonna take it out of the thing, it's too hard to. But one of the little tiny gray pieces in the front there.
You just dropped it now?
No. So one of the foot, I took the feet off the bed, put them down here. Unless I stuck it in my pocket for some reason, which, so. I took the feet off the bed, put them here because I was going to do the assembly, or show off the assembly during the stream. Came back, there's only 3 feet here. I didn't drop one. I hadn't even started playing with them. And the gray pieces earlier today, I went upstairs to show Kay, and I'm like, yeah, and these just fit here like this, and I only had 3 of them with me, and I'm like, I don't know where the 4th one went. So,
well,
this is everybody's fault but mine, basically.
It could very likely be this same problem that I have here. I used to have a long line of benchies parked up here, which are now down here.
Oh, I see.
Because I have cats.
That's fair. So the cats can't come downstairs anymore because Mika, the last time she was allowed down here, came down, found a piece of filament, ate it, choked on it, promptly threw up everywhere, and basically gave me a panic attack because I couldn't get the piece of plastic out of her mouth. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I'm getting to the point where the cats aren't going to be allowed up here either. I'm actually thinking that those shelves are going to go away. I'm going to do something completely different on this wall back here. Those shelves are going to go away, but I'd also like to hear from anybody that's using the, is it PEX? Yeah, PEX sheets.
I have that on one of my printers.
You do have them?
Well, I did. I just converted that 3D printer that had the Wham Bam sheet into a laser cutter.
Oh, that's the one that you turned into the laser cutter?
The print. Let's see, James. I like that you admit you play with the parts. I print them and then I play with them. That's how I got my YouTube name. What was I talking? Oh, yeah. It had become the most unreliable printer. I did a full overhaul on it before this happened. Replaced the hot end, replaced the board, replaced the power supply, and set up the way I have all my other CR10s running. And it kept running into thermal runaway, and I couldn't replicate it. It would start on like after an 8-hour print. And I was like, the other two CR10s I have aren't even running, and I'm just trying to fix this one because I feel like I have to. I was like, oh, I'm going to fix it. So I cut the hot end off of it and attached a laser.
Well, see, my laser sticks on by magnet, but I haven't even fired it up yet, so I'm not even sure if it'll work.
Sean Butler's kind of the one that pushed me in the direction of doing a full conversion.
Sounds about right. He's real pushy.
He is.
So I ask about the PEX because, as you guys know, a couple weeks ago I unboxed my Wham Bam bed system that's going to go on my CR10S Pro, and it is definitely a very slick sheet. But as I understand it, as long as you scuff it up properly with the steel wool, then that'll be okay. The AM8. I bought that whatever it's called. What's the name of that bed sheet we were just talking about?
Ultimaker or the Ultra Base?
Ultra Base, there you go. I bought the Ultra Base for it. I had a piece of glass on it. In fact, I think it was a piece of mirror, if I remember right. I bought the Ultra Base for it. Never ended up using it. I found a like $14 piece of PEI matte colored on Amazon and stuck it on there, and it's been on there ever since. And that's been like 2 years now. So that's kind of hard to argue. 2 years on a $14 piece of PEI. But no, that thing never sees anything but PLA.
That's like the very first CR10 I have. I put a build tack sheet on it. I guess I bought it my first year at Murph, so 3 years ago, and I replaced it this year and that was after printing a couple hundred sets of PETG, the visor pieces, like the PPE stuff.
Right.
After doing I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of prints on it, it finally broke apart. So I had 3 sheets of it. I bought a 3-pack of it, so I just took the next sheet out and put it back and put it on, and it's still going pretty well. I don't know. I've had pretty good luck with most build surfaces after sort of getting them dialed in and figuring out what their quirks are.
Well, and then even with PEI, like the glossy PEI, I don't like it as much as the matte PEI. I don't know. I don't like the shiny of the print.
That's fair. Different
my 10
strokes.
millimeter socket's missing.
Is that the one you need?
I'm not really looking for a 10 millimeter socket. I'm actually looking for my 3 millimeter Allen key.
Don't you have 50,000 of them?
Well, I have one T-handled one that I always use. And I'm usually pretty good about putting it back where I got, like back in the rack over here.
I need to
But
after.
if anybody out there works on cars, they'll understand that 10mm reference.
Is that the most common one? Therefore, it's always missing.
It's yeah, like pretty much if you buy a new socket set, when you open it up, just take the 10mm out and throw it across the street because it's gonna end up missing sooner or later anyway.
I'm gonna switch off my camera for a second. I need to go grab some pieces, and then I'm gonna start getting some assembly work done.
Oh,
here.
sure, you switch off your camera as I walk off.
That's why I'm doing it. You know what? I'll wait for you to come back. If you're gonna be
no one to look at.
If you're gonna be a child about it, I'll wait for you to come back.
I don't know what I did. Now, you know what? I'm going to take one from this set.
And lose it too.
Well, this is the non-ball end ones, which are not as much fun to use, but okay, I'm back. Now you can turn off your camera.
I'm trying to remember where I had my soldering iron sitting before, because I moved it because I hadn't used it in a while.
It's not even the size I need.
Is it a 2.5?
Yeah. It's just right here.
Should we tell them now that this entire thing's actually scripted?
Oh God, I could never pull that off. Oh, sorry guys, I've been really bad about watching the chat today.
It's okay. I've been trying to keep an eye on it. Christopher Maschek says that he's been having runaway on his CR10S. So my CR10S was actually a clone of the CR10S that I didn't know I was getting a clone when I bought it. But it was on clearance, so I didn't return it because it was like I paid $200 for it or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one that you bought that was original. It's an original CR10.
Yeah, and it was not. It out of the box would not get the bed above 60 degrees, and that was configured in firmware. They configured it so you couldn't put it above 60. So at one point I connected it to Octoprint, and Octoprint allowed me to set it to 100, and it started heating up. And when it got above 60, it triggered the max temp warning.
Good time.
Okay, camera off for a second. I'll grab some pieces and we'll start mashing things together.
Brandon said he just got a set of the Bondhouse. Is it Bondhouse or Bondhouse? Allen keys, and I too have a set of those, which are here. Lovely, lovely things. I'll put a link to those in the description. No, not really, but you can find them on Amazon. But they are a really nice set of Allen keys. I like the T-handled ones. So looks like my CR10 is now refusing to heat. Well, at least then you don't get thermal runaway if it doesn't heat up at all. Uncle Ron has finally made it back to a stream. All right, Sean Butler says, I'm using TH3D's Easy Flex, one bare metal and one smooth PEI. Both seem to work great. Have a textured PDI getting delivered tomorrow. So you print directly on the bare metal? And that works? I mean, I've never tried it, but from my phone, but I'm here. Are you hiding being on the phone? No, I'm going to be putting that Wham Bam system on the CR10S Pro and giving it a good run. The FK1 has PEI sheet on it from Printed Solid, and I did scuff that with a 4/0 steel wool just for better adhesion. Plus, it gives it a little bit more of a matte finish and not such a shiny finish. The CR10S Pro currently has we will call it a Build Tack knockoff material, and it's awful. It is absolutely awful. it goes one of two ways. Either the prints don't stick to it at all, or they stick to it so badly that when you go to take them off, it rips the sheet. So that's fun. The CR20, I've actually only ever printed to that thing one time, so I don't know how good or bad those sheets are. But it's a build tack knockoff type sheet as well. Oh, I remember how to get this off now. This is a pain in the butt. I may actually have to use the Bond House because of the length. Patrick's in the house. Sorry, I'm late, like a few months late. Hope you're doing well, Patrick. Works on bare metal 90% of the time. The other 10%, I need hairspray. Huh, that's interesting. I mean, you don't see that. You don't see anybody advertising just a bare metal build sheet. It's always to put something else on top of it. Yeah, this thing's busted up pretty good. I'm hoping that I can swap this out without too much aggravation. Which only makes sense. I mean, nobody wants to do something that has aggravation. I'm sure hoping this project sucks and gives me a lot of aggravation. We shall see. Photon uses bare metal build plate. That's a whole different beast, though. I still have not printed with my resin printer. Maybe when it cools off in February, I'll spend some time with it out in the garage. Hello, Dan. I'm still contemplating moving the studio out to the apartment that's in my detached garage, just so that I have a very dedicated space for all of this. It would definitely fix the problems with the cats messing with my stuff. I never wanted my office and the printers to be away from each other, because that way when I'm working during the day, I can also print stuff and keep an eye on my printers, but I don't really print anything anymore. So it's either that or I got to lock the cats out from coming up here. I've thought about using maybe a motion sensor light, so that when they get into this area, the light blinds them. But I have a feeling that that'll only deter them for the first or second shot, and then I'm good. I'm glad to hear that, Patrick. Glad to hear that everything is okay. I had noticed that you have been missing. And just so you know, I'm swapping out the electronics box on the Prusa, but the electronics box on the AM8 is still the same one. There is a door. There's a door at the top of my stairs, Matt, but we generally don't like to lock them out of places, because then they want into those places even more. But once you're up here, then there's no door. It's one big area. So I can't block off just my studio area. WD-40 and an igniter should drive them back and burn the house down. I don't know. I mean, we're still not sure what we're going to do with that apartment space, if we're going to attempt to rent it out again. Again, it takes a really special situation. I have to trust the person wholeheartedly to let them live in there. So I don't know I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. I've thought about also just setting it up as a guest room, but a full-fledged YouTube studio would be pretty nice. The downside to that is we're actually talking about using this studio computer to let Xander start live streaming his VR games so that it takes the streaming load off of his machine. Yeah, so that's what has necessitated a new one of these. Pew! I stole that from Chris Riley. Well, I mean that electronics box works perfectly well for that. I mean, sadly, I may have to change it if I get rid of that main board and go to a different main board. But so far, that thing is still just humming along the way it is. So I don't really see a need to have to change it. I think James ran away. He's like, I've had enough of this. Had enough of this guy riding my coattails. I'm out of here. This electronics box has been broken for probably a year, maybe 2. And I'm just getting around to replacing it. And I probably should have tested that pin. Yep. Yeah, I ran James away. He's just tired of it. No, it's a great box. It fit exactly what I needed it to do. And again, I mean, I have that I think it's a Geetek board that I bought from Mr. Riley that I was going to put on that printer. But I never did. And I'm not sure that I ever will, as long as that ANET board keeps going. So otherwise, what I'll have to do is I'll have to send you the measurements for the Geetek board, and then you can just modify the file. Make it look exactly the same, but hold the other board.
Did I build enough anticipation there?
Good God, man. We thought you moved.
I did. Okay, so funny story. So I was missing some of the small pieces that I printed for this arcade cabinet, these joining braces and stuff, like this guy. I brought everything down from the arcade cabinet, piled it all on my other workbench so that I could just hammer it out. And the pieces aren't there. So I'm looking. I'm like, they must be in my backpack upstairs, because when we were doing our big clean, towards the end of it was like, we need to get all this done immediately. So a bunch of stuff just got stuffed into a backpack. So I go upstairs to get the backpack, and Kayleen is completely rearranging the living room. So all the furniture's all over the place. She's like, and I guess she's on the phone or whatever with her best friend talking while they're in. She's like, "Oh, James just came upstairs. I'll have to call you back." All that to say is it took me longer to get these pieces together. So this is the screen I'm using for the arcade cabinet. I have no idea how much visibility you guys have on it. It's a 22-inch.
Okay.
So
well, we can see a large black rectangle.
It's an LG. It's digitally yours. Or life's good. I think that's what LG actually stands for, is life's good, right?
Well, it actually stands for something else. It was two people's initials. But yeah, they eventually changed it to life's good.
Which, like, that feels like a lot of pressure on me. There's that smooth back that you're talking about, the mirror finish that you get from flat sheets.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, I just looked at the back of the old electronics box off of this thing, and it's the smooth PEI.
Oh, so you're glad you're changing it then?
Stands for Lucky Gold Star. Glenn Hoag for the win. He's a serial killer and he's smart.
You gave Glenn's a bad name.
And by the way, hello, Glenn. How are you today?
That's me, Lucky Charms.
So I had the pleasure of hooking up a new thermostat today.
Oh yeah?
On the air conditioning in the apartment, because the other one just decided to be a piece of crap and fail. But it's Wi-Fi connectable. I got it as part of Amazon's Prime Day.
Prime deals? Yeah.
Yeah. Saved like $10 or whatever off of it. So I hooked that thing up today. It's pretty cool. I mean, I always needed to be able to sit at my desk and see what the temperature was in the apartment in the garage.
So that you can control people that, it's like, hey, I told you, you don't get to set it that cold. I'm just going to.
I mean, the thing is, my thought is like, there's no reason to run that air conditioning. Like I keep it set on like 84. Yeah. Just so that it doesn't get to be 100 degrees in there. But we're going to use that space temporarily to get all the Christmas light stuff set up. So then if we're going to go out there, I'll crank the air down a little bit before we go so that
it's not 1 billion degrees.
Yeah, so it's not 1 billion degrees when we get out there.
Makes sense to me. But I mean, I'm just a Canardian. What do I know?
Right. Not much.
Eh? Not much, eh?
Not much, eh? Take off, you hoser.
Steven, the light speed is in chat. So I made these tiny plastic pieces that are responsible for holding the monitor frame together. They just get wedged into holes, and they've got spots for nuts to be stuck into them. Nuts to that. That's what I say.
Oh, nuts. Sergio said, Wi-Fi thermostats have been around for a while. Well, yeah, but not in my house. It's also compatible with the Amazon Echo.
Is there an Echo in here?
So you can be like, hey, computer.
Hello, computer.
Make it really darn cold in here. Sergio right now is face palming. He's at home going, oh my gosh. Big deal. It's a Wi-Fi thermostat. No, the one that was in there, I wish I could remember the name of it. It was
Lucky Gold Star.
What's that?
Lucky Gold Star.
No, it was like gem or something, but like you could just tell it was like the cheapest thing that they could find to put in there when they installed that AC. Which, in fairness, I hired them because they had the cheapest price when I had them install that AC.
You got what you paid for, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I wish I had my other camera. I guess I could maybe. It's just sitting here upside down looking sad.
I wish that I knew where that other hex nut went.
Nuts. Hex nuts.
Nuts. I'm down one.
I mean, no, that's not going to hold. I'm trying to get my helping hands to help again. But I don't think I can.
I'm going to have to go to the Sparks Spare bin. The spare parts bin.
My Bart Spares bin?
The Bart Spares bin.
Let's see. Let's see if I can add. I have no desk space left now. I don't have enough room to move my mouse because everything's a disaster.
That's my life.
It's now or never. There we go. Oh my God, there's so much cat hair on my shirt. I just picked up Bo when I was upstairs.
I don't know where my Prusa Bart spare bin went.
Okay, well, I apologize for all the cat hair. It's everybody's fault but mine. So let's see. That's not their...
So what did everybody think about last week's virtual Earth? I mean, besides the fact that it sucked that we didn't get to actually be there. I think that's a given.
I personally feel like everybody made the best of a COVID situation.
Well, I mean, yeah, we didn't really have a choice. It was that or nothing at all. So it was definitely nice to have the opportunity to see everybody. But it's like, I guess for the people who don't have a YouTube channel, like getting to see those people and those people getting to show off stuff. But I'm sure nobody was excited to see our faces. They're like, oh my God, these two idiots again.
People call us idiots? I knew about you, but I didn't know I was getting
Oh, you're
wrapped up
lumped
in
in
it
by
now.
association.
Dream of lumped in association.
I'm gonna be really mad if I can't find a hex nut for this. I mean, how did I lose that? I didn't go anywhere. I was right here the whole time. I think your cat came and took it.
Must be.
Wait. Here's a couple in here. That's why I always keep all the old parts. I mean, besides the fact that I'm a hoarder. I mean, collector.
Collector of antiquities. Antiquities?
Antiquities.
That thing. I'm on vacation for the next week, which is mind-blowing to me. And so I was going to try and get a video done for Friday. I'd said I'm probably not going to be able to get one done for the next 2 weeks. So I was going to try and get one done for Friday. And then we found out Kaylene's brother is going to be having a very small ceremony wedding because currently they're in a situation where there's not very many active cases where they live. But they're concerned things are going to get shut down. So they're doing an immediate family social distance wedding.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, there's not very many cases, so they wanted to create some.
No, they're being responsible with it. So the only people inside their bubble and Kay and I. It's a little more grindy than I wanted it to be. Sorry. Tighten this one down.
I'm so glad that Shane guy hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, he's the worst. Wait, why do I not like Shane? I like Shane. If I had to choose between you and Shane...
Go easy there, boy.
I'm not saying I would definitely pick him. I'm just saying I'd need a minute.
Oh.
3D Maker Kid says, wait, you guys were on there? Wow.
No.
I don't know why I put effort into things.
I just wanted to make it seem like we were cool when we were on there. But
yeah, we certainly didn't host a 3D printing contest. Where people
that was really difficult, man.
It was. I got some people that didn't feel like we made the right choice.
Well, of course. You're always going to run into that.
That just means that the projects were really good. There's disagreements.
Yeah. Yeah, it was those were tough decisions to make. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll have that conversation another time. I mean, I was going to say, I'm curious to know what they felt was better than what we picked, but
I don't think we're ever going to have that conversation because I feel like it just ends up with hurt feelings somehow. So
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it almost would have been nice if we could have done like a first, second, third place.
We are looking at next year switching to a mechanical marvel, best overall, and a best straight off the bed type setup.
Yeah, that would be good because again, I mean, you and I had that discussion about the fact that like I can print, I can't paint.
Yep.
So
I can print, I can't play. Oh, I totally had this cool gadget I wanted to show off during this stream. Hopefully, I'll remember it next week. It's up 2 stories. I'm too lazy for that. So,
well, I'm kind of curious. I mean, you touched on this laser engraver. What
Yep.
What are you looking to do with that?
We're basically we've got some ideas for Christmas gifts and some stuff that we want to try and sell. We have a friend who's an artist, so we've been talking to her about potentially doing a little bit of a partnership. She'll design some stuff, we'll handle the etching, and then we'll all profit from her creativity and our ability to profit off her creativity.
Oh,
real good at that. Yeah, that's basically where we're with that. It's also a test run because eventually I would like to build a much larger, potentially like a cutter. So have the ability to cut like 4 feet by 8 feet. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a single pass, but
oh, so you want to give Pooch a run for his money?
oh, absolutely. Screw that guy. Screw that Pooch. Oh, should I tell my story about this? Were you trying to segue into that story?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so oblivious. So, we were talking. My wife's got ideas, and
apparently the brains of the operation.
And the brains. I'm just the person that burns down the house. So we're discussing it, and she goes, "I need a business name for it because she wants to set up a company specifically for selling not just laser crafts, but basically any of the crafts that we come up with, but primarily focusing with the laser stuff." So I said we should call it the Burning Sensation, and she said no.
I said you should name it Burning Sensational, but
let's get sensational.
Sean Butler said, wait, she got the looks and the brains?
That's Sean Butler.
Yeah,
what a
jerk. A troublemaker, isn't he?
Always. When in doubt, hit it. That's what I say.
Hey, I found my other 3mm.
Oh, that's good. You might need that one day.
Yep, just not today.
Sounds like a tomorrow problem.
Oh,
don't cough. Did I tell you? I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I had to go into the office for the first time in a while, and so I'm there and I'm at my desk and I'm wearing a mask, and they've shut down all the drinkable sections of the water fountain. We have water fountains that have drinkable, and as well as they have like a spot to fill your bottle.
Okay.
So they've stopped the part where you'd put your mouth down.
Okay.
But they have the part to refill the bottle. I didn't think to bring a bottle though, so I've got no access to water.
So
I'm at my desk.
Mouth underneath the bottle part.
No, I felt like that might get me in trouble. So I'm there for 3 or 4 hours, and I've been talking a bunch, so I end up with a dry throat.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm sitting at my desk, and I can hear people talking, and I cough, and dead silence.
No, I know how that goes. I mean, I've had this cough for like 7 or 8 years now.
And everybody looks like you're the plague holder.
Oh my gosh. If I'm in a store and then like sometimes it'll just be a cough like that and I move on, but sometimes I have like a coughing fit. And I will have to leave the store or whatever and go outside.
And that's doubly worse now.
I didn't really tell anybody, but I had a close call on Monday where I thought I had been exposed.
Not to coronavirus, just for being a jerk.
Right. No, yeah, being exposed for who I truly am. Hey, shut up over there, Peanut Gallery. But no, I went to help my sister out, and come to find out, my niece has tested positive, and my sister had been around my niece for a couple of days. So I was a little worried, but my sister got tested this week, and she came back negative. So I threw caution to the wind and said, I'm not even going to get checked.
I mean, that's what they're recommending here, is that if it's if you suspect somebody in your family has been exposed, they test the person with the most exposure, and then if that person tests positive, they test the rest of the family members, rather than being like, oh, we tested 3 people and all of them were negative and we wasted tests.
Right.
So like we have friends whose son is being babysat by her mother, and her mother ended up with symptoms. So while they were testing her because she was symptomatic, they said, okay, pick somebody from your family who has the most exposure to her and bring them in to be tested. So that of course was the son, because the son's being babysat. And they said, no, we'll only test your son, and then if your son tests positive, we'll test you guys, but you all have to remain isolated until his test results come back.
Right.
Which makes sense. But I was like, well, that's one way to control testing, I guess.
Well, I said, I was going to be really mad if I ended up getting it after being like in quarantine since February.
I was so careful. How could this happen to me?
Well, family calls, you got to go help.
When a friend asks for help, you help them.
That's right.
If she cheats, it's done. No exceptions. Oh, you haven't gotten to that season yet?
Oh, I've watched it all.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, nuts. Two of the nuts just fell out.
I'm actually thinking about going through it all again. Yeah.
We rewatched it twice in a row once, just back to back. Wasn't ready for it to be over.
No, that show is just too good.
Hey, you know what we should start doing? I just thought of this. Every stream, we should have a word of the day that if you say it, you get muted for 5 minutes, and see how long it takes people to figure out what word it was that got the person muted.
Oh, that could be fun.
I thought so. And if Xander's laughing, you know it's good. Should we come up with one for today and do a test run for the last hour?
Yeah, but do we pick one?
Because they can't know what it is. The viewers can't know. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All it does is decrease your subscriber count. People get tired of being muted.
Well, they'd get to still watch. They just don't get to chat.
That's half the fun. They're not here because we say intelligent things. They're here to point out that we don't say intelligent things.
Right. Hence the reason they need to be muted. Oh.
It's funny because it's true.
I know. If your name is Sean Butler, you get muted.
That guy is a butler.
Sorry, Sean. I didn't really mean to pick on you directly.
I just said butler like it's a derogatory thing. I was trying to say he was a butt. But anyways, all that to say.
Man, they cram so much wire and stuff into this electronics box.
On the Prusa?
Yeah.
No wasted space.
No space at all.
Today's word is politics.
Yeah, that'll get you muted for sure.
Oh, that's every days. That's going to be every days, especially into November.
I can't wait until it's all over with.
Who do you think's going to win? I've stopped caring.
It doesn't matter. It's a what is it? I don't want to say that. I was going to reference the South Park, but
yeah, I knew where you're going with it, and I was like, he may not say that on the air.
No, we need a dump button so that we can say stuff and then dump it. Has anybody ever figured out how to do one of those on the YouTube? I still want to be able to do call in.
Long time watcher, first time caller.
I have a phone number for Fun King. In fact, the last 4 digits spells king. So if you guys want to guess what the number is, you just go for it.
Is it 555?
Yeah. 555-1212. But I always thought it would be cool to hook a phone into the mixer and let people like legitimately call in.
Not illegitimately call in?
Well, not like, we had talked about it and then Walter tried it through Discord, but I don't think that was as good.
Needs to be more gooder.
More gooder. The Mo Better Butter Company. The Mo Better Butter Dispenser.
Everything's a hammer if you hit it hard enough. Hey, what's the status of our theme song?
I have completely dropped the ball.
Oh, okay.
And, so for those who don't know, I don't know if I've told this story publicly, but I reached out to Ryan. He's all for it, wants to write us a theme song.
I do remember that part of the discussion. Yes.
I gave him creative freedoms to just kind of do whatever he wanted. And he pretty much rejected those freedoms and told me I needed to pick a music style. I think he's afraid of, and I understand, working with people through the years, people suck. And
they'll tell you do whatever you want, but what they really mean is do what I want. I just don't know what that is yet.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure that he's afraid that he'll come up with something and I'll be like, nah, I don't really like it. Do something different.
On a scale of 1 to suck, holy cow.
But I mean, I told him that it does have to be more epic than the Xander's Thing Thursday theme
Is that
song.
even possible?
Probably not, but I wanted to set the expectations really high. Oh, I should tell another story in relation to this electronics box too, because I printed this out the other day. I printed it the other day.
So you printed an electronics control box the other day.
And then you realize that you printed the wrong one the other day. I printed the old one. So I had to go back and print it again. I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I have thought that.
I should have known as soon as it started printing. In fact, I was printing it during the stream 2 weeks ago. That was the wrong one.
I like how I'm like, yeah, I'm going to spend a couple hours assembling this cabinet. I'm going to get one piece together if I'm lucky. And I should be videotaping this, so videotaping, that's not even the right phrase anymore. I should be recording this so I can use it for the assembly
Get out
video.
the old VHS and
No, I got a Betamax, bro. It's a superior format.
That is incorrect.
What, that it was a superior format?
Yep.
No, everybody said that, though, because they're like, oh, it's a superior format, but it still failed because of branding on VHS. It's like, no, it couldn't hold nearly as much video.
Do you know why? Do you know why VHS won out over?
Because it was a better product?
Nope.
Okay, why?
Because of the adult film industry.
Oh, everything's because of the adult film industry.
The adult film industry adopted VHS over Betamax, and that's what sealed the fate.
That's what mastered the beta.
Yeah, that's back, from my days when I was in the adult film industry. All right, we got to stop. This is going to just go down the wrong path.
He was the fun king. Inglorious
Right.
3D.
Stop.
Am I banned now?
Oh,
Poor Xander.
Channel's nuked.
Poor Xander.
Xander's at that age now where like I will throw down a slightly inappropriate joke,
And that's now your best friends.
and like he finds it to be really, really funny, which and then my wife gives me the dirty look for telling him inappropriate jokes.
Oh, is it gonna fit? Hey, look at that.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Can anybody name that theme song? I think Glenn might be able to, but anybody else?
Robbie Mack is in the house.
Return of the Mac. Oh my gosh.
Matt said, I just told a joke. It's not my fault. He heard it. No, I tell it right to his face. And then I say, now don't tell your friends this joke. But
Xander has friends?
yeah, not many.
Imagine that. I mean, he has to. He's like, I'm going to use that joke against somebody else, James. Probably you.
It's funny, this project that I'm doing, like, it was fine the way it was. I mean, it was broken, but it wasn't hurting anything. But I just feel better now that it's right.
I'm so good at designing things. I'm just going to continually pat myself on the back from now on.
Well, somebody's got
Actually, I'm going to design something to pat myself on the back. I'll put a self-indulgent button on my forearm.
I feel bad for not remembering his name, but do you follow the guy on Twitter that does the useless inventions?
Michael, the guy that his videos are often quite inappropriate. Like the guy that designed carpet that tased his roommate if his roommate walked too loudly.
Well, I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh, or he built the drones that whenever they see a human face, they fly at the person. Or the laser that tracks your eyes and shines a laser pointer in your eyes.
I don't know. The guy I'm thinking about, like, he designed a shower curtain that had a towel built into it.
Oh, okay, no, this isn't the same person.
Oh.
Not at all.
Yeah, none of that sounded familiar, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm not really following this guy.
I think everybody is familiar with Simone. Actually, now that I say it out loud, is it Simone? Is that the proper pronunciation? I've never had to say her name, but I've watched so many of her videos.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The plastic broke off on the screw.
All right, I need something I can use as a hammer.
Anything?
I will use this here Phillips screwdriver that has a rubber grip. I cannot get it to seat.
That's a personal problem. I might have patted myself on the back too early with this one.
Well, I think anytime you pat yourself on the back, it's too early. Yeah, and I've made the comment before, but I really think that 3D printing has ruined me as a maker. Like, I was out in the garage today, and I have what I refer to as my favorite pair of shoes, and they're pretty ratty. They're definitely worn out, and I've bought new ones since then, and these have become my junker shoes. But I just love this pair of shoes, and the bottom started to come off of them, so I bought some shoe glue, and so I was out in the garage today attempting to glue my shoes back together, and I needed some way to like clamp it while the glue is drying. And the first thing I think about is, oh, I should 3D print something. It's like, I don't want to hand make anything anymore when this machine can print it out.
And more accurately.
Right. It's absolutely destroyed me.
You've gone from a maker to being a faker.
Gone from a maker to being a really lazy guy.
We call it Glenn syndrome over here.
Hey, fair enough. Is that a one-end Glenn or a two-end Glenn?
Yes. It is one of the two. Thanks, Boolean logic.
Like all of the above.
Hey, if you throw an or in there, I'm answering yes. I think the funniest thing I ever saw was I was going through some old source code, and it was if equals 1 or not 1. And I'm like, I can totally see somebody actually type, like you see it and you're like, I can't believe it, nobody's caught this, but somebody's running through in their head, right? And they're just typing out code. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get something working. And it's like, okay, so if this is equal to 1, or if it's not equal to 1, we definitely want to do this.
Right, yeah. Alan King said, I wonder if the skill of handmade will disappear because of the new technologies. Well, I definitely think that as the technologies become more and more accessible, like stuff like, having a CNC router at home is getting to be more and more accessible. Who's going to hand cut out, some piece of wood if you can have a machine do it and have the precision be like almost perfect?
That's my thing, is that like my hands aren't the steadiest, but I can, if I can take my time and draw something on a computer, I can do a pretty, I'm not talking artistic. I'm talking about like a sketch of cutting something out of wood to do something.
Right. Well, mainly if you need more than one, if you need more than one piece and you need them to be dimensionally accurate to one another, how much better is it to just draw it and push a button
and get 2 exact copies
and get 2 exact? Yeah. Or at least close enough where you'll never know the difference. I really want to finish the MPCNC, but now that I've been looking, I think the lowrider is the better one for me.
I think that's where I'm going to go when I do the full-size laser cutter engraver setup.
Yeah, I don't think that I need like height. I need to be able to cut sheet material. I can't imagine that 3/4 inch, that I'd ever cut anything thicker than 3/4 inch.
There we go. The assembled screen part.
All right, so show detail of the clips holding that in.
That's there and there. The screen isn't very heavy. It's an OLED display. So I decided to do it with just the 2. And I can print 2 more to go on the other sides as well. But
so it kind of drops into a cradle and then a clamp on each side.
Yeah, so the 4 pieces assemble a thing that wraps around the frame of it. Then these clamp it into place, and then this in turn drops in at an angle into the arcade cabinet and has holes in the assembly that bolt it to the arcade cabinet. It's held from the side. So It should be fine.
Well, until he straps it to the roof of his car and, wants to play at 80 miles an hour going down the interstate.
No, he's got an F-150. It'll be good. If you got an F-150, you don't have time to do anything but have an F-150. And then the other thing that came out is that Joel Telling, during his last stream, I popped in and said hi, and he's like, yeah, James and I are, which cat out of the bag, James and I are working together to design an arcade cabinet for that giant 3D printer he has that'll print as like one or two massive pieces. I was like, oh, I didn't know we were going public with it, but he did. So we are. It's actually going to be this cabinet, but I'm going to take out all the joining pieces and not as a joke, like more modifications, but I'm using this 2-player arcade cabinet as the base for the design.
Right.
And then merging everything and taking out all the joins and stuff so that, it doesn't need them. So.
Joel Telling. That name's familiar, but I can't.
Yeah, he goes by the 3D printing guy on YouTube.
3D printing guy? Yeah, that sounds familiar.
3D maker guy. 3D making nerd. There we go. That's what it was.
Yeah, that guy owes me so much. I've done so much for him over the years. He owes me.
Yep. Hey, we're up to 38 viewers, but we've got 3 thumbs down.
Sweet.
So the usual.
God, we're talking about 3D printing. I'm working on a 3D printer.
Y'all need to give us the thumbs up, or else nothing will happen. Because
let's crush those people that give us thumbs down.
Let's smash that thumbs up.
More thumbs up.
Smash the thumbs up. Smash the like button.
When I watch people's YouTube video, if they say that, smash the like button, it makes me want to
not smash the like button.
Don't like button.
Here's a short video of my laser cutter in action, which is on my phone, and I could try and copy it over and bring it into Streamlabs. I'm just going to do it this way because I'm super lazy. Look at it go.
Is that actual speed?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's cutting about 60 or 70 millimeters a second. Well, etching about 60, 70 millimeters a second.
Wow. How come when I said that I was missing a hex nut, nobody said, check to see if it's stuck to the magnets on the bed?
Oh, was it stuck to the magnets on the bed?
No, but the screw that I just dropped was, so I'm wondering if the hex nut's not stuck somewhere to the bed.
Well, I guess I could go get another couple pieces and continue the assembly process, but I'm trying to balance it between, because I can show this off in the video and show how it joins together without actually showing the pieces going together.
Right.
But the further I get into the printer or the build, the harder it's going to be like, and then I just mash these things together. Mash the like button. Well, we're not out of time, but we're out of talking points. So print on.
Yeah, we still got another 48 minutes today.
Whoopsie pupsie. Ba-dun-dun.
I didn't think that this was going to take me as long as it is.
I thought it was going to take you even longer. So
did you?
I was betting against you.
Well, somebody's got to.
Everybody.
It's usually my mom, but okay.
I had a video I did a while back. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the screen now where it's not gonna get smashed. Like the like button should be. I did a video a while back where it was building a cheap light diffuser for putting in front of stuff when you're filming. And it starts off with me talking, and I'm like, one of the things I get asked the most, or one thing I like to do is try to improve my video quality. So I've been asking people what I can do, and it was like, I make some comment, and it was like, and other than comments like, need to lose weight or get good, and then it like zooms out, and I'm like, thanks a lot, Mom. So somebody commented, your mom sounds mean. My sheep light.
24/7 hinky. Nope. Not going to happen. I will tell you what. I will go as far as to say that James and I have complete opposite views. When
I'm not going to say complete opposite, but we have fundamental differences at the very least.
And we have discussions about it.
Because we don't have our heads up our butts, and it doesn't end up being a fight.
Nope.
It's not like when you talk to Xander.
Wow.
No, that's just like having your head up your butt all the time.
Just kidding, Xander. I love you.
No, you don't.
How did he know? How does he know, though?
He's so clever.
Everyone knows Xander is clever, except for Xander.
I'm going to have to bring in my DeWalt impact driver from now on to do these printing projects. Need more power.
Your printing projects and your playing projects. Oh, he's sweet, but he's psycho. Kayleen watches TikToks nonstop right now. And one of the videos that she watched the other day was a police officer. And he was doing a transfer of so he was reenacting a transfer he did for a woman that was in lockup that was being transferred to a psychiatric ward. And he was basically, it's like when the nurse asked what the person's temperament's like, and he's like, oh, she's sweet, but she's psycho a little bit. And it was like 2:00 in the morning. I was asleep, and Kayleen burst out laughing, woke me up. I'm like, what? She showed me the video.
Matt is asking if I'm sponsored. I am sponsored.
Remember that time we were going to be sponsored for one video and then it didn't happen?
Yeah, my FK1 project has got a handful of sponsors behind it, and I appreciate each and every one of them.
Except for that one guy.
Except that one guy, yeah. Speaking of, where's that one guy today? But this particular show is not sponsored, and we are definitely always looking for a sponsor. You know, if anybody ever wanted to step up and sponsor the video.
What's that? We should try and find a sponsor for the video.
We should definitely try to find a sponsor.
If we can be candid.
Uncle Ron wants to know when the full-sized Benchy is coming. It's not a full-size Benchy.
It's full-size Benchy's already happened.
It's a yeah, but that wasn't a Benchy that they printed.
No, I'm talking about you've already printed a full-size Benchy, because to me a full-size Benchy is the standard size.
True. But no, I have another project that is taking priority over the Benchy. It will be I don't want to give it away. I will tell you it's an 800% something. Just so you know, it's big. But sorry, lake usable people size Benchy. No, it's a big project, and it is sponsored by IC3D. They have sent me a roll of filament, not this one, a different one, the same size, but I didn't want anybody to see what color it was. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all you get out of me. Chris Riley might sponsor us. He'd sponsor us to just shut up for a while. Listen, I'll sponsor you guys to not do a show every week.
He already tried quitting, but that wasn't good enough. I can't get this gamepad to recognize. I got one of those fancy 8-bit do Super Nintendo wireless Bluetooth dealies, but I can't get it to, because it's got a USB mode and I can't get it to connect.
Iron Man body for Glenn's truck. That truck and I are on bad terms right now. Not really so much the truck as Ford as a whole. I just cannot get this screw to grab. I put a longer one through there and I pull it in. I just don't want to pull it all the way through.
And ruin it?
Yeah, I end up breaking the piece that I just replaced. But I cannot get it to...
I think it might be this USB cable.
That's possible. Maybe it's a charge-only cable and not a...
That's precisely what I am thinking.
Because I love that. I mean, that's such a cost saver.
Yeah, not including those 2 extra pieces of wire. Saved yourself 8 cents. Good job.
But James, 8 cents on a million cables is a lot of money. But the argument there is I'd pay 8 more cents to have it right.
Yep. Yeah, because that makes it sound like the only choice is to eat the cost.
And there's Mr. Riley now. He said he would totally sponsor this show. But would you sponsor it or would you sponsor it just for us to shut up?
He's going to have different answers for each of us. Which one of us does Chris Riley want to shut up? The answer may surprise you, but probably won't.
Click here to find out more.
15 ads later.
Oh, and YouTube and their mid video ads is driving me insane.
You can't skip 2-second ads anymore. I mean, not 2-second ads. Like how they play 2 ads.
Right.
Instead of 1. They'll put each ad at 6 seconds, and you can't skip either.
No,
That's good. I need that money.
it's getting ridiculous.
No, I need that money. I need that 6 cents.
Well, I do too. So please don't skip my ads. No, I don't put ads in the middle. And if you guys ever see one of my videos and there's an ad in the middle, you let me know because it's not supposed to be there.
Oop. Pulled that drawer out too far and it fell.
Whichever one is cheaper.
I pulled this drawer out too far and it fell.
Talk about milking a project here. This is driving me insane.
Milking a project, you definitely have that down to a science. You've been milking that project for how many years now?
Months and months and months.
It's cheaper to sponsor the program. Our silence is gold.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's far cheaper to pay us to talk than to pay us to shut up. In fact, I don't think I have a price to shut me up.
Camera off for a second, headset staying on. I just don't want people to see my butt when I stand up. Hey, look, I just found the missing foot. Because I wasn't looking for it anymore.
Glenn milks the FK1 worse than Walter milks the Stargate. I don't know about that. I'm not milking the FK1. It's just sitting over there being a printer. You know, I'm going to measure the screw and then I'm going to find out it's not the right screw, that it's an 8 millimeter instead of a 10.
Survey says.
I mean, it looks like a 10 millimeter, but I'm questioning it now. If only I knew how to use one of these fancy measuring devices.
I have probably a billion USB cables. Do you think I can find one when I need it?
No, of course not.
No.
Well, here's the problem. It's not a 10 millimeter. It's a 9.87 millimeter.
Ah, they got you with that 0.87.
It's just barely missing. It won't grab the screw or won't grab the nut.
Ugh.
Uncle Ron said James is pantless in the stream. Absolutely.
Because it's Sunday, and that's what I do on Sundays, pantsless streaming.
We don't need no stinking pants.
Especially the stinking pants. Stinking pants are the worst. It never fails that I find things I've been looking for forever when I'm no longer looking for them.
Right. When you've printed another one or bought a new one. I got a whole garage full of stuff that I bought new ones for.
My headset. Let's see if it switches back automatically. Did it? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, that's good. It switched to my speakers and then back when I plugged it back in. Consider me slightly impressed.
Little do you guys know, I'm not really doing anything. I just keep putting my hands up here, pretending like I'm doing something.
He puts his hands up like they're playing his song and the butterflies fly away. I think that's a Miley Cyrus song? I don't know.
I don't know if I'd admit that. Oh. Core. That only took like what? Well, I guess it was really only about 10 minutes. Felt like forever though.
Well, I just gave up looking for a proper cable. Everybody has a point where they just can't be bothered past, and I just hit mine.
Guess I should have paid attention to where that was flying to.
Good job, McFly.
It's gone forever.
You know, I was just like, I'm giving up on looking for this cable. Remember how I said I always find stuff after I'm not looking for it anymore?
You just found it?
I just found a proper cable for this.
Okay, well, I am not looking for this hex nut anymore. Hey, here it is. That works.
The more you know.
You always find stuff in the last place you look for it.
Why would you keep looking after you find it? Everywhere you look, there's a lack of common sense.
Oh, sorry, that's rude of me to be yawning on stream.
Oh, you're sleepy.
I am sleepy. Well, it's all part of the anemia thing. Some days are better than others. So my coworker is off for the next 2 weeks for his honeymoon.
Congrats to him. Can we get an F in chat?
Sucks to be me. What? Get what in chat?
Can we get an F in chat? Xander got that joke. if he heard it.
Yeah, he's over there giggling.
Where'd you come from?
Well, originally Minnesota, but
Minnesota.
Minnesota, where
that
we
like-
say things like road and code. You throw the garbage in a bag.
I just like looking around and seeing all the projects that I never finished and going, yeah, I'll get to that one day.
Matt wants to know where he left his VGA to DisplayPort adapter. I think it's
The last place you looked.
I think it's right over there by that other thing.
I can't tell you for sure, but I'm sure it's closer to you than it is to me.
You live in New York now, don't you, Matt? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe you don't want people to know where you live.
Wow, way to start spreading the news.
I know. I'm such a cyber stalker. Yep, holds up bag of adapters. It's great to hear other people having finished projects. Oh, well, hang out here, man. I'm the king of unfinished projects. Ah, South Carolina.
I think I just got a USB extension cable that also doesn't have the data lines in it. Because the USB cable I found is a 6-inch cable I bought for when I was wiring the mini arcade cabinets.
Oh. An
So you can-
extension cable without the data would be weird. I mean, to have just a power extension, you could just buy a long power cable. I mean, neither one of them's going to work worth a crap, but
And yet, when I take the extension cable out and plug directly into the USB port, it immediately detects my device.
wow.
I'm going to try it with the extension again. I just want to make sure the extension was... Maybe it's possible it's a damaged extension cable too. But it feels like a pretty cheap cable. First off. Okay. You don't like me and I don't like you, but nothing.
Is there a reason that you still have your camera off?
Yeah, I just tired of looking at myself.
Oh, okay.
Trying to save you the unsubscribes from me being on here. Yeah, there's the cable.
Well, that's long enough for playing.
Maybe if I had like my hub right here, but it's this one.
All right, this should be it. Now, do I have to re-level the bed after I changed out the electronics box?
I mean, law of averages says yes.
Live Z adjust?
This is going to work real good. I'm plugging a non-powered USB hub into my powered USB hub, and then my USB controller into that. So I now have about a foot to 14 inches worth of let's see, does it see the controller now? Hey, that works.
Whatever it takes, man.
I forget why I was doing this now.
It's been so long.
I don't understand. How many thumbs down do we have now? We're up to 5 thumbs down, but 23 thumbs up. And 35 people watching, so the majority of people have either liked us or not liked us.
Good people. Good people.
Let's see.
Nobody likes me. I like you, Billy. Nobody good likes me.
So here, I'm going to put screen capture on for this. Where is it?
Matt said I get that reference too. Dude, I'm using the same stuff like that my whole, like, forever.
Let's see if that works.
The fun part is when I catch Xander saying things that I say.
Because he's being assimilated into your collective.
That's, I knew you were going to do that one.
The game?
No. Just these sayings that have been around forever. Yay, I'm finally finished. I cannot believe that took almost the whole entire stream to replace an electronics box. Must be time for me to just give up.
That's where I'm at. Transform.
This 3D printing thing is too hard. It's because I didn't have Shane here to walk me through it.
That's why I switched to Nintendo stuff now. This is a I don't even remember where I got this, but it's a hacked ROM that the controller still doesn't work. Whoopsie poopsie.
Hey, we don't have a Paul Cumber today.
Whose fault is that? What did you do to him?
I just thought about him because he printed me these cats that my cats keep knocking off the shelf, but I haven't seen him in the chat. I use the big room when I talk to my cats too. Thanks to you. Yeah, that came my dad. That's my dad started that one. Cats always wanting to go in the big room.
Is the big room just another word for the living room?
No, it's for outside.
Oh, there you go. I'm not a smart man.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I recycle this properly.
Well, this is what this stream is now.
You playing Mario?
Oh, the controller just disconnected. All my daisy chaining. It's all daisy and no chain.
This is my DJ mixer. Hear me scratch.
Oh. There we go.
If anybody ever finds a set of ball end Allen key screwdrivers like these that all have a normal size handle, I would like to know. I hate the fact that the smaller the size of the Allen key gets, the smaller the handle gets. I want them to all be normal size handles and then the Allen key change. That's what I want. And I think that company should make them for me for free because I want it.
Whatever Glenn wants, Glenn gets.
I want a golden goose, Daddy.
I'm going to see how many people are confused by the version of Mario that I'm playing. Because it's not an official Nintendo copy of Mario.
Okay, I've put back my other 3mm hex key. So it does not get lost. I have returned the 3mm hex key to its proper positioning.
Do 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 do.
So I have one for you, Matt. A good vocabulary is important. Had I known the difference between antidote and anecdote, a good friend of mine would still be alive. He got bit by a snake, and I told him cute stories.
Oh, my controller just gave up the ghost. No! No! Come back! Come back! Ah!
Print a handle? Yeah, I guess I could like just, well, yeah, but I'd have to print a whole bunch of handles. I mean, it's a really great set of ball end Allen keys. It was Tom Lama, who is also not here with us today, that turned me on to them. But like as you go down in size, I mean, there's a significant. I'm gonna have to do a light background behind me. Like everything is always hard to see, but yeah, I mean, so that's the difference between what 1mm and 4mm. No, 2mm and 4mm, and the handles are that different. I would be fine with this size handle for all of them. Maybe I'll just make my own, and then I'll sell them, and they'll be the Fun King 3D. And really all I'll do is buy that brand and then pull the handles off of them and 3D print my own handles.
And then charge thrice as much.
Well, I'd have to. That's a lot of labor. Whew. 10 minutes to spare.
I believed in you, Glenn.
I can't believe that took so long. But I do again want to thank IC3D for sending me over the roll of filament for my next project. It's going to be epic. This particular print, I want to say is 4 days. So, but I do have the battery backup now on the FK1, which is pretty exciting. I should probably test that, huh? Like heat everything up and then pull the plug and
see how long it goes.
Yeah, because if I have to wire the bed in separately, I can do that. Of course, at that point, I wouldn't need a 1500 VA battery backup.
Well, you still have to keep that bed hot for an amount of time.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, when I get power problems here, it's usually just a few seconds at the most.
Right.
I mean, if it was out 10 seconds, it would be extraordinarily long. But I just want to make sure that it's going to hold, which it should. 1500 VA should hold that up. But I mean, I'm saying if I run the power separately from the bed, like run AC specifically to the bed and then backed up power to the duet, a 1500 VA backup would run that duet board for like forever. There's Paul.
Showed up after all?
Hi, Paul. We were just talking about you because my cat knocked down your printed cats. And then I said, hey, we don't have a Paul Cumber today.
Because Glenn wanted Paul or
Can you
nothing
3D
at
print
all.
in a 0.5 nozzle? Absolutely. In fact, if you're going to print any type of wood fill, well, really any kind of fill, 0.5 would be like the minimum I'd suggest.
Yep. That stuff's super stringy, though.
Yeah, well, I live in Florida where the humidity is high. Everything's stringy.
I tried to print. Go ahead.
I don't put my filaments away either. They sit out. They sit out all the time. So it would probably help if I put them away. One of these days, I'm going to buy a dehydrator, but
Oh no.
Let's heat that bad boy up.
Oh no. Everything went wrong there.
Let's go 600 degrees. That should be enough.
600 degrees? just a little light duty 3D printing. That's on the bed, right?
Yeah, 600 degree bed, 4,000 degree nozzle. I'm printing titanium.
I'm printing actual hell.
I'm just gonna strap a plasma cutter right to my 3D printer.
Take it easy, Matt. Matt says he has to go because his wife made him food.
Oh, she didn't make me any food. Nice to talk to you again, Matt. Oh.
Here comes the hammer, bros.
6 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, 6 minutes, and then I get to have some food. My wife made chicken enchiladas for dinner last night, but the kids don't like them, so I get them 2 nights in a row.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, they're delicious.
Your kids are nuts.
No, Uncle Ron, I'm not eating pizza until you bring me some. Okay, said on my way.
I can still finish the game before the stream's over.
You know, I was never a big Mario fan. It's just I never got into it. I had a couple of different Nintendos through the years, but I was all about Mario Kart.
That was what drove you?
Yes, it drove me to win. Uncle Ron said I can overnight you one. It wouldn't be the same. We just got to come and visit New York, but not until after the COVID's gone.
Turn around! Jeez. So the thing that's special about this one is somebody took Super Mario Brothers 3 and put the Super Mario Brothers 1 levels into it, but left the Mario 3 power-ups and stuff in it. And then, so this is all designed to somehow run on original Nintendo control hardware, and it's got parallax scrolling, so you can see that they put in fancy backgrounds and stuff to make it look more like the Super Nintendo game. It's my jam.
Yeah, I would have never known.
I was surprised nobody in chat pointed out.
James, have you tried the Mario 35 on Switch?
Not yet. It is installed. I just haven't had the time to do it. There's that other Mario games, the one that they did unofficially that got shut down. I played that one for a bit.
Paul, not really that I can think of, but how is that going for you? I mean, I'm assuming you got it all together and functioning.
Underwater World.
Guess that's better than the underwear world.
Under there?
Underwear.
Oh, you blooper.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Oh no! How did that possibly? Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna cheese it to the ending now. Oh, my controller died again.
Oh no!
Come back! Come back!
But apparently, you're standing in the perfect spot where you can't die.
Don't care. Game over. That's it. Game is beat. She's so much taller than him.
Oh, look, it's Zelda.
Now you have a secret code at the title screen. Press left, left, B, right, right, A? I don't know. Beat it with 2 minutes to spare.
2 minutes to spare. Well, I guess we'll take this opportunity. You got anything that you want to plug?
No, I'm useless. I'm going to be doing a video about a laser cutter and how not to burn your retina, or how to burn your retina. I haven't decided how that's going to go yet.
Well, it depends on which way they want to go with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's my king of fun in 3D.
Well, and I've been putting a lot of thought into having the possibility of doing some garage and automotive related videos and some welding, and I decided that I would have to do it on a completely different channel because it will not be family friendly.
We're just going to replace the N in Fun King.
Or there's just no audio at all because working on the truck the other day. I mean, I got Band-Aids and I'm all cut up, and that was the most horrific thing that I've ever had to do, putting those body mounts on that truck. But
that's because all of them snapped, right?
Well, no, the way that they designed it, it's a captured nut. It's a cage nut, and the metal that is around the nut is really not thick enough. And so they tell you when you take the bolt out not to over torque them, taking them out. How do you limit your torque on removal?
It's like usually force of removal is exactly how much is required to cause it to loosen.
Right. Like, I'm just not going to pull it as hard as I normally would. I don't understand. So then what happens is that cage splits, like it spreads, and the nut spins, and then you can't get to it. And so I spun the two front ones, which are the radiator core supports. And luckily you can get to them. All you have to do is take off the headlights. Well, to get the headlights off when the front body mounts are gone, then you really need to remove the bumper too. So yeah, so that wasn't fun. But then the rest of them, what I ended up doing was putting a torch on the bolt and heating them up for a good minute. And then I was able to get them out without spinning them. Because if you spin the inside ones, you got to pull your interior out. So, but it was a lot of work, and I was really tired, and it took me way longer than it should have to do it. But the truck is running fabulously now. It doesn't sound like I'm carrying it around an aluminum extension ladder anymore. So that's good. But yeah, I put some thought into that and thought, well, it would totally not be family friendly. So I'd have to call it something completely different and not tie it to this channel at all. Because I use the F word a lot and not Ford.
Fun. Paul Cumbert asks, "Hey James, can you 3D print me a case for the NES Mini?" So do you have an NES Mini that's been damaged and you need a new case, or you just want to build your own NES Mini?
But yeah, otherwise, I don't really have anything up and coming. I am going to film putting that Wham Bam system into the printer. The other video is going to take a little while for the big print because I got to get that big print done. And that video is going to happen whether it fails or completes. I don't care which way it goes. Either way, it's going to be absolutely epic. So that will be a ton of fun. I am rolling into Christmas light season again. I know that seems really crazy being that we're not even at Halloween, but pretty much from November 1st, I start putting up Christmas lights. I did spend some time yesterday shopping and bought some new Christmas display items. I'm also placing an order this evening for some new Christmas lights for the house, which is pretty exciting.
Kayleen told me, she's like, one day you're just gonna come home from work or something, and I'm gonna have decorated this place to the nines. That was her response to me starting to sing Christmas carols already. So,
well, Priscilla does a pretty good job of pulling everything not Christmas out of the house and putting up all Christmas stuff, and then swaps it vice versa. I will admit that I still have Christmas stuff sitting on the front porch from last year.
That's convenient.
Yeah. Well, I looked at it a couple weeks ago and I was going to go put it away, and I thought, why at this point? It's just going to go out. But some of the lights were starting to fail last year, and so when I took them down, I left them outside, and so now I have to replace them. So.
Aaron Sager says, finally printed a big candy bowel using wood filament last week.
Yeah, that's not a good place to keep your candy.
It stores exclusively nutty chocolate. It's a bunch of O. Henry bars.
Or sugar-free Jelly Bellies. Too funny. So, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up for today, everybody. And thank you guys. It was fun. I got to admit, with this whole anemia thing, and I'm tired all the time, I am not driven anymore at all. So, like, I have to force myself into these streams. But once I get here, it is a lot of fun, and I have a good time, and I never regret doing it. So, with that, we want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in, because without you, these streams would be useless and a lot less fun. So, thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really wish you guys would bring some friends, because it's pretty much the same people every week, and I'm getting bored of you guys. No, I like the relationship that we've built. I like the fact that we can continue conversations from one week to the next, and yet it's never an elitist group to the point where if we do get somebody new that they don't really understand what's going on, that's usually only me that doesn't understand what's going on. But thank you guys for the thumbs up. We always appreciate that. And for the however many thumbs downs we have, you guys suck. And
print on.
But otherwise, elbow cough. Otherwise, that's it for us. But we really do appreciate you guys being here. And we will 99% likely be back next week to do it again. If you have a topic that you want to suggest, email it to me, Glenn with 2 N's at funking3d.com, or hit me up on the Twitters. It would always be fun to get other people's inputs on conversations and topics that they would like to have. Also, if you're interested in being a guest host, we're not going to do it every week, maybe only like once a month. But if you do want a guest host, kind of like Felipe does with us once in a while, and we had Chris 2 weeks ago, hit me up for that as well. Leave a comment down below, because that's what people say. Smash that like button, because that annoys the crap out of me. And that's it. We love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, as always,
print on.
Print on.
Okay,